Alright, welcome everybody to a little new tier that I made, and it's called Ranking the Classic and Modern SML Rank video. So, I'm gonna be ranking SML characters who have survived from the beginning to currently now, and I'm going to compare how they were in the old videos to how they are now. I'm going to compare the old counterparts and my thoughts about them to the newer counterparts. If you don't get it, you'll see what I mean in a bit. So I'm gonna start off with the main man of the series. How would I rank old Mario? Let's see. Mario was an amazing character overall. Man, I just really miss the old personality of Mario. Remember when he was the smartest character in the entire cast? Remember when he wasn't incredibly stupid or grouchy or yelled at everything for 5 seconds at a time? But yeah, Mario was such a very loyal friend. He knew right from wrong. He wasn't such a pushover to everybody in the cast like Black Yoshi. He was just an overall good character, and it's kinda sad that Logan does not write him the same anymore. Since we got old Mario, I'm gonna compare Marvin, to which, honestly, Marvin is worse than Mario. He is sympathetic sometimes, so I'm gonna put him on a decent tier. I was almost gonna put him on terrible, but he is pretty sympathetic. But in most episodes, what does he do? He doesn't pay his house payment. He doesn't seem to care about the fact he doesn't pay for his house payment. He's overly grouchy all the time. He yells at everybody for the smallest inconvenience. In worst cases, he's always plotting something horrible. Marvin is more greedier than Mario. He's much more of a pushover. He's much more stupider. He's much more grumpier. He's not really that enjoyable, except in episodes when he's actually sympathetic. Okay, so next we're gonna start with Junior. Wait, where is he? Now, Junior is very controversial because if we were to talk about the old house era on its own and not the apartment era, oh yeah, he was definitely going on like the terrible tier. But admittedly, as soon as they reached the apartment, Junior's character got a little bit better throughout the house era. Debatably, Junior was at his most best character. Don't get me wrong, he had a lot of worse appearances. They flanderized him and treated Cody terribly, flanderized his bratty side, his more idiotic side, and they really pushed the limits onto that character. So if we were to rank the old house era by itself, it would be bad. But because of the apartment and most cases the house era, he was a decent character, I would say. Junior was always a coin toss. In most cases, he'll be actually sympathetic and a good friend, and in some cases, he'll be downright horrible. I think the only thing that saves his character is because of the apartment and the new house. And now, Modern Junior. Holy fucking shit. I'm never gonna try to hide it. I'm gonna be honest. Man, Junior now has rare occasions where you actually feel bad for him, or when he's actually really funny. They took the worst parts of Junior, like him mistreating Cody, him being such an idiot, dragging the fact that he's an idiot for so incredibly long. They dragged this part of his character so deep into the ground that I rarely find myself enjoying Junior. Yes, there are some episodes that he's decent and rarely really good, but Junior, Modern Junior, he is such an idiot. Such an idiot, and not in a funny way either. He's more frustrating. So let's move on to Joseph. Don't get in my case if the profile pictures didn't fit. Shut up. Joseph, he was honestly decent. I'll be honest, old Joseph was very decent. What I recognized in the very older videos is that Joseph really wasn't stupid. But in some cases, he was more like the middleman of the group. But he was more of like a third wheel part, and he just kind of went along with what Cody and Junior would argue about. You know, sometimes he would agree with Junior, and other times he would actually disagree with Junior and side with Cody. That was the aspect that I kind of wish his character does now. Because all he does, well, I'll get to that in a second. No, I'll just save it for when we get to the modern one. But yeah, back when his parents didn't die, Joseph had a good character, honestly. After they got to the character arc of his mom dying, I remember back in 2018 or 2019, I remember I got so tired of them milking the fact that Joseph would always say, Hey y'all, I'm the poor man of the group. My mom's dead, you know, my life is never happy. I kinda got sick of that character trait after a while. It was funny at one point, but then ever since they finished the arc of Joseph's mom, they didn't really know what to do with his character. And so he just started saying stuff like, I'm poor. Hey guys, remember I'm poor. You know that my life's never happy, right? But just because they don't do that annoying aspect doesn't mean Joseph has other annoying aspects, but we get to that in a second. Now, Red Show Joseph arc, I'm gonna be honest, it was so terrible. I don't miss it one bit. I really don't miss that arc one bit. Ever since Joseph had his Red Shell, Joseph was always the jerk. And I know people are gonna try to justify, well, oh, you know, well, he sold his soul to Craig, remember? So obviously Craig made him evil. Just because it happens in the show, it doesn't mean it's not a good justification for Joseph to act that way all the time, and it got annoying very fast. Hell, I think even the first episode they ever did this when he got the red shell, that episode was bad. Joseph being an asshole to Richard and Junior and everybody around him, especially in the worst appearance of Red Shell Joseph, Joseph the Millionaire. Oh my god, Red Show Joseph was so unenjoyable. Now, Modern Joseph, holy fucking shit. You know what? He is going right alongside Junior as the most terrible character. Junior is stupid and annoying, and they drive that character into the ground. But Modern Joseph being this passive-aggressive, racial character, whenever a character says something that might sound racist, Joseph's saying everything is racist. I'm just so sick and tired of Joseph being just Junior number 2. They both act stupid towards Cody. They both are infuriating. Oh my god, I cannot describe how much I hate new Joseph. Him being racist and him accusing everybody of being racist. Him not even being Joseph, he's just the black kid. If you were to show me a difference between old Joseph and this Joseph, I would not be able to pick him apart. He's not even Joseph, he's just the stereotypical black kid. And let's end off the main trio with Cody. I probably should have started with Jordan, Joseph, and Cody, but whatever. I'm gonna be honest, looking back at Cody's old character, he was weird as fuck. I mean, like, him being debatably more gay than what he was during the New House era, back when there were still plushes. He was so overly weird, just downright creepy, not really funny, but I'm not gonna judge the video. I'm not gonna judge him just off of that, because honestly, Cody's been a very good character. Without Cody, and if the show mainly starred Joseph and Cody, I really don't think this show would have been good. Thankfully, Cody is the character that breaks off the stupidity of Junior and Joseph. On most occasions, he's smart, so at times when he is being a bit weird, it's kind of funny. You know, a bit out of character, not weird as him, you know, overly gay and all that. I'm gonna be honest with new Cody, he's still very good, he's very sympathetic. I rate him a little bit lower because, if I'm gonna be honest, the gay character trait has escalated more than it's ever been. The weirdness of the gay jokes, it's like that's his only character now. It's like, hey, I'm the gay character, remember y'all? I'm not gonna elaborate more than that because I'm not trying to get my channel struck down. But yes, Cody's still an amazing character, but I just really hate how Logan only writes Cody to be the tortured victim. It's so annoying. It's so painful to watch. I just wish they would lay off of that aspect, and I kind of wish they would tone down the gay jokes or make them more subtle. But other than that, I don't really have that many issues with Cody. And now I'm gonna get to Brooklyn Guy. Where he at? Old Brooklyn Guy. You know what? I'll put him irreplaceable because he was a very good character to have in a show full of wacky characters. You see, with Brooklyn Guy, he was always this normal character that just kind of questioned the absolute insanity of what the fuck is going on in the universe that he resides in. He had to deal with the likes of Mario and Junior and all the other wacky characters. So for Brooklyn Guy to be like this normal straight man who just questions everything that happens around him. For example, I remember in Shrek's diet, I almost said coma, but I remember Mario pointed out something like how Shrek was 500 pounds. He was an ogre. And then Brooklyn Guy thought he was treating a regular patient. And then the first reaction when he saw Shrek was that, Is that an ogre? Why is he green? Does ogre have ordinary blood? He was just questioning the absolute insanity of everything. Even in Booking Guy's worst appearances, they're often very, very rare. There are rare occasions where I think Booking Guy has absolutely horrible appearances. It was a good character to add to the show, in a show full of wacky characters. And now this brings us to modern Booking Guy. Oh man. It pains me to say this as someone who absolutely loves Booking Guy. Ever since 2021, I realized Booking Guy's character has become a lot worse, honestly. The thing about him now is that every time he appears in a video, he's always going on about, every time he comes on, you guarantee that Nintendo animation is gonna pop up. Booking Guy going on the rants that last for like 3 to 4 minutes long. And Booking Guy is acting like such a man-child now. He became a lot more wackier compared to his old counterpart. Booking Guy is still funny, don't get me wrong, because compared to everybody else for the most part, they're absolutely horrible and they're annoying. Booking Guy is still funny, but at the same time, I have to admit that even his character has taken such a massive nosedive. He became such an active man-child. Him having stories about his wife and his daughter Penelope, them arguing, and Booking Guy being a neglectful father, it's not funny anymore. It pains me to say this as a Booking Guy fan, but I gotta put him in the good territory now, because I think the thing holding it back is Booking Guy's character now, of him having filler and him being such a man-child to the point that even he has gotten a little bit annoying. Not as annoying as the characters now, but still so very annoying. Chef Pee isn't really around much anymore, but man, Chef Pee is irreplaceable, I'm gonna be honest. Even if Chef Pee does have rare appearances now, he doesn't really do much anymore. I will say that Chef Pee does have very good appearances. Man, him being the force to break up Junior's stupidity and having to deal with the likes of Junior and Jeffy, or outside of him being a chef that he thinks is the best chef in the world, but he's absolutely fucking terrible. He kind of voices exactly what we're thinking when we have to deal with Junior and Jeffy, or when we listen to them. Like, I think Chef Pee alongside Booking Guy is just a normal character, honestly. They just kind of react to things that happen. And having to deal with asshole characters like Bowser and annoying characters like Jeffy, Chef Pee is up there with Booking Guy. They're both normal and they're both funny. And when they're given the time to shine, for the most part, it's done very well. Okay, next is Goodman. Man, I'll be honest, Goodman was alright. He never really had that much to do. Although, I know back then he was the Booking Guy of the SML universe. You know, he was the cop, he was the doctor, he was the teacher. Like, he had weird appearances like Chef Pee Quits Part 4. I really don't know how to rank Old Goodman, honestly. But yeah, at least Old Goodman was funny. He was actually more competent than other characters. He was kind of like Booking Guy, where he is serious and at some point he's like completely hilarious at being incompetent, you know, like him being a police officer. But he was okay. But now Modern Goodman, holy fucking shit. No, you know, I'll put him on a decent tier, because he is like one of the last tolerable characters in modern SML. You know what, maybe on good tier. You know what, good tier. I don't mind Goodman that much, but the only thing I do kind of wish is that I kind of wish he was less of an asshole. Or don't get me wrong, him being an asshole to characters that deserve it is funny, but I kind of wish they kind of drop him being a major asshole and kind of make him a little bit of an asshole, but someone who kind of cares. Now don't get me wrong, Lance still does a stellar job at being Goodman. I really love Lance's performance as Goodman. He is a little bit too mean-spirited for my liking, but don't take it as me saying that he's terrible. I still very much like Goodman. Alright, next is Jackie Chu. I'm on the fence of putting him between amazing or good, because if I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think Jackie Chu ever had a bad appearance. But I will admit, like, sometimes the jokes about him get a little bit repetitive, you know, like his eyes or him being Asian. But I don't really think off the top of my head he ever had a bad appearance. And I think it's due because outside of him being a main character in some series like the like the summer school series, he was always kind of a background character than an actual main character. So I think that's why he never really had a bad appearance that stuck out. But yeah, I think he was always an amazing character. You know, I put him in amazing. Another good performance by Lance. He's never really the main focus of any videos, or if he is, it's rarely. I think the only thing that kind of holds it down is just his jokes can be a little bit repetitive sometimes, but needless to say, he's still a very good character. Now we're getting into characters that are kind of bad. Woody is a good character. Come on, man. I think Woody is the one that stands out the absolute most because he has the most unique personality trait alongside maybe Shrek. You know what? Speaking of which, I'm gonna talk about both of them at the same time. So Woody, he has a very unique personality trait of him being obsessed with shrimpos, being the shrimpo hunter, and he was always kind of a breath of fresh air when back in the old house when it was a Black Yoshi video or a Shrek video. He never really had like a serious video, but just him being a good person to everybody, him being a good friend, you know, helping people like Shrek out, Mario, Black Yoshi, just being an overall good individual for everybody, and plus him having a weird but funny character trait of him liking shrimp, it makes him unique and stand out the most. And it's kind of sad that Logan doesn't really use him anymore. I mean, I get the feeling why to an extent. He's still a very good character. And now, alongside Shrek, I know this is going to be controversial, I still like Shrek in moderation. Something about me, I don't really like toilet humor. Toilet humor is rarely ever funny to me. So Shrek having his character trait of, you know, always being into the bathroom and him having his fart jokes and other type of jokes, it's not really funny to me. It's just kind of there. Don't get me wrong, rare occasions it really does make me laugh. But I think on episodes when they actually do something different, you know, like Shrek Diet, you know, him trying to overcome his obsession with cheesecake, or, you know, Shrek's coma, you know, Mario trying to get him to fart. That's a sentence I had to say. Shrek's coma, as bad as it was, I will get that episode credit that, you know, at least it's something that you won't forget because, you know, it's him being in a different body. When Shrek isn't all about fart jokes and stuff, he really is funny. And I think another part why Shrek is funny because he's just so nonchalant about everything going on. Him being so nonchalant to the fact that he has a baby despite the fact he's a male. Shrek was a very good character, not gonna lie. Now, old Black Yoshi, I was almost gonna put him in good tier because he does have some of the traits that his new counterpart does. However, what makes old Blackie, oh god, I mean, what makes old Black Yoshi, sorry, what makes old Black Yoshi so fucking funny is that he was nowhere near this stupid compared to in the modern videos. Yes, he was stupid, but he was also very smart in some ways. Like, he wasn't a total idiot. He wasn't a total idiot. He was still an idiot, but not that much of an idiot. But he was also a very hardcore gangster. That much of an idiot, but he was just so reckless and didn't care that much about people. But he actually did try to help people like Shrek and Mario. I mean, hell, Mario's the reason why he had Rose to begin with in the older videos, and he actually got Mario a girlfriend. That was actually kind of a nice character for him. And the funniest Black Yoshi video for me was the one where Black Yoshi dumps his ex because he was an abusive boyfriend, and then then Black Yoshi tried to find a date. That was also very funny. So yes, Black Yoshi was funny. He wasn't nowhere near as a moron compared to actually no, this combines with newer counterpart. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I gotta put him in the decent territory. I still meant everything I said about his character, but I think was holding it down a little bit now. I'm sorry, I was only talking about the old house era, but yes, he was part of the new house era too. But I think as soon as they got to the new house era, Black Yoshi's character was, they flanderized him being stupid so much, and his one character trait of always asking for Call of Duty, he was so annoying. Him asking people for money, especially Mario, asking him for money was so repetitive. Him liking chicken and Call of Duty was so annoying. That was his only character trait ever since like 2017. That was when I kind of got tired of it. I don't overall hate Black Yoshi, but I just really wish Logan changed his character a little bit. I just wish Logan changed his character a little bit so he wasn't just that all the time. So yes, I was a fan of Black Yoshi in the old house era, but in the apartment era, but I do admit that was where I kind of got tired of Black Yoshi, so that's why he became from a good character to kind of a decent character. Now, that being said, I'm not really a fucking fan of It's Your Boy Dougie, which why did they change his name to that? I know why, But out of every name you could have picked, why the fuck did y'all pick the racist why did y'all pick the most racist name ever? Dougie. Really, man? When they first introduced Black Yoshi, I'll be honest, I didn't really care that much because I really wasn't that much of a fan of Black Yoshi up to that point. But I tried to give it a chance. Black Yoshi is just the same as ever. He's just his old counterpart, but escalated into infinity. Him asking for Call of Duty is his only character trait. Him asking for money, he asks for money, and he asks for chicken and Call of Duty. That's it. That's his only character trait. There's nothing interesting about him. They don't add no interesting turns or spins to it. That's his only character trait. Do I even need to say more at this point? He's just Black Yoshi, but so much more flanderized and so much more worse. Now back to an old character for a second. I kind of felt like I was missing some characters, which I'll explain in a bit. Or I should probably get them out the way. I didn't add Penelope because, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot she was a character because I don't really use her. But if Penelope was here, I probably would have put her in the terrible character. She's such a whiny brat. And I know that she hates Junior, but she's kind of much more of a brat compared to Junior. She's so annoying. And it feels like Logan doesn't really know how to write teenage girls, so they just have her whine and complain all the time. She shouldn't be this annoying and uninteresting. Okay, so, Craig. Even though they don't really use Craig that often, I don't think Craig ever really had a bad appearance either. I don't think Craig really ever had a bad appearance. He was so fucking funny. The sheer irony that he is the devil, and yet he is the most tamest evil person on the planet is so funny to me. Or maybe I just have a soft spot for villains that think they're so truly evil, but on the outside, they do kind of help people, or they're just so lame at being evil. But yes, Craig is so funny. I mean, there's not really much for me to say because honestly, he's just a very funny comedic character, and given by the wonderful voice acting of Chris. So let's see, Bowser. Oh man. Now here's the thing about Bowser. If we was to talk about strictly the old house era, oh, you better believe he would have been on a terrible territory. But admittedly, as soon as they got to the apartment and even the new house era, even though Bowser didn't appear that much, they thankfully toned down a little bit of a jerkish nature, although at the same time he was still kind of an asshole to Chef Pee-Pee. But thankfully in the modern videos, until the cease and desist, they did thankfully tone down the jerkish nature of him, and he just became more of a community character, so I'll put him in the decent territory. Again, if we were talking about the old house era, he would have been on the terrible list for sure. But I think the reason I put him on decent is because outside of having his main character traits, like actually his only main character trait is just sitting in bed, watching TV, watching Charlie and Friends, and abusing Chef Pee-Pee. That's basically his only character traits, and rarely being a good father. And outside of the fact that they don't really have any Bowser episodes anymore. I mean, hell, even in the modern videos, like when was the last time you ever seen a Bowser episode? They haven't had a Bowser episode since what, like 2021 when he meets Charlie and Friends? Yeah, Bowser is the most underutilized character, so that's why I don't really have a lot to talk about Bowser. And similarly, this is why I don't really have a lot to talk about modern Bowser. I can't really say he's amazing, but I can't say he's terrible. And I think it's because, well, they don't really use modern Bowser that much. And even when they do use him, he's just sitting in TV. He's just sitting and watching Charlie and Friends, as always. But that's why I don't have a lot to talk about Bowser, because he's just not really used. And I know it's been like, what, I'm gonna assume like since I last talked about Junior. Oh my god, I printed Junior twice. Oh my god. Sorry. No wonder I was looking at, I was like, am I crazy? I know I had Junior on here. Okay. Old Jeffy, holy fucking shit. I'm gonna be completely honest. He is going on the terrible territory. Old Jeffy, man, I was not a fan of this character. I never understood why people liked him. He had rare appearances. He was kind of funny. But for the most part, I never understood why he got popular. He only had 3 character traits. Annoying Mario, spanking his diaper, and pooping himself. That's the only character traits he had. He got so repetitive, and it was not enjoyable in the slightest. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, I don't really have a lot to talk about old Jeffy. So now, the modern Jeffy with the puppet design, decent. I mean, it kind of pains me inside, the decent. You know what? No, you know what? Fuck it, I don't care. It's my tier list, I don't give a shit. Honestly, I still find Jeffy to be so terrible. Don't get me wrong, it's a bit generous to not put him on a ropey miss, because he does have appearances where he's actually not completely terrible. I think Jeffy works when he's not the main character. When Jeffy is a side character in an episode, or yeah, when he's a side character and not doing much, those episodes tend to be a lot more funnier compared to when Jeffy is like the main character. When Jeffy is the main focus of the episodes, they tend to get so annoying because think about it. When Jeffy's the main focus, what do you expect him to do? Annoy Mario. That's all he does. That's all he does with his toilet humor again, spanking his diaper. Him being more annoying than the older Jeffy. I didn't think it was possible. So yes, it's kinda harsh to put him in a terrible territory, but if I'm gonna be honest, all those sympathetic videos Logan made over the years, they failed to prove to me that Jeffy can be an overall good character. Because Logan chose to not redeem him. He chose to not give him character. He chose to not make him better. And I already made so many video essays about Jeffy, so... Karen, as much as I wanted to put her on I Won't Be Missed, she's still kind of terrible, I'm gonna be honest, because, similar to Jeffy, when she isn't a main character in a Brooklyn Guy video, even then in videos with Brooklyn Guy, she's so terrible. I can name so many videos with her that was just terrible. I always wanted to talk about Karen. I never really got a chance to, so honestly, hey, it's y'all lucky day. Karen has the most annoying voice in the entire show. No offense to Elena, she's doing a good job, but Karen as a character, oh my god, she is so annoying. Her voice is annoying. Her mistreatment of Brooklyn Guy is so annoying. Now to her credit, later down the line, they kinda made her a more straight man. You know, when Brooklyn Guy's doing something stupid, she calls him out. But those appearances are so incredibly rare. And for the most part, she just aggravates Brooklyn Guy. She aggravates me. She aggravates a lot of reactors I see. I never really heard one reactor ever had anything nice to say about Karen. And last but not least, this star-loving, universe-thought-in, for the streets-loving bitch. I always wanted to talk about Rose. I'm not even gonna try to hide it for her older appearance. She was fucking terrible, I'm gonna be honest. Rose's debut was not the best start. Her debuts were not the best start. Constantly crying about stars. Stop this video. Go watch Mario's girlfriend or Mario's new girlfriend. Watch how that is such a very stark contrast compared to her now. Her just crying every 5 seconds. It was so aggravating. Now, however, before Jeffy came along, and a bit after her debuts, Rose was actually a pretty nice character, you know. Her actually being a good girlfriend to Mario. She was actually funny, she supported him all throughout the way, and she was actually a good character, I would have said. If not for Jeffy appearing, and not for Rose's character from that point on. This is the most controversial statement I'm ever gonna say. But debatably, for the last 6 years, maybe even 7 years, Rosalina has not improved. I cannot remember a time off the top of my head since Jeffy came along, maybe outside of very rare occasions where she punished Jeffy, so I don't really remember any time she defended Mario when Jeffy did something wrong. Rosalina always takes Jeffy's side. She treats him like a fucking kid throughout 18 and currently now. She treats him like a fucking kid. She treats him like a 5-year-old. She defends Jeffy throughout everything. She doesn't take Mario's side for anything. She gets mad at Mario for fucking existing. She supports Jeffy throughout the way. She encourages Jeffy's behavior. She gets mad at Mario whenever he tries to punish him. I got so tired of Rose. I got so tired of Rosalina throughout 2017. That was when I really began to hate Rose. And her character never fucking improved. Or if she has improved, it was never that much for me to notice. And outside and getting to that, honestly, newer Rosalina will not be fucking missed. It is the same character trait of her counterpart, except it is even worse. Rose is a hypocrite. She loves to accuse Mario of cheating when she had multiple exes, has on multiple occasions said she's gonna leave Mario. If I could describe Rosalina's character, is she's such a bitch. There is something about her voice that Elena does. Again, I'm not saying it's Elena's fault, but it's something about Rose that always just strikes me as her just being such a bitchy character. Maybe it's just maybe it's just the attitude that she always has towards Mario. Whenever Mario does something stupid, whenever Mario says something or puts himself in a... Rose always has that tone in her voice that like, oh yeah, Mario, remember you said about the 3 meals a day? You cannot forget about that. She always has this bitchy tone of voice and it just irks me. But her standing up to Jeffy is nothing new, and it seriously pisses me off. She doesn't take Mario's side for anything. She accuses Mario of cheating when she had multiple exes, wanting to get back to her exes, her wanting to leave Mario. Honestly, newer Rose is just the older Rose, but much more amplified. And Rose has no redeeming elements. She has none whatsoever. And honestly, this ends the tier list video. And for reasons why other characters weren't added, you know, like Bully Bill or Penelope or Patrick, honestly, those characters don't really appear enough for me to care. They don't really appear. They're not even like secondary characters. They just kind of appear at random. They're not really as frequent as these characters. So yeah, this concludes my tier list video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I know if I was a bit harsh, just let me know. But honestly, I feel pretty comfortable, and trust me, I thought long and hard about my rankings. So if there's something you disagree with, or you feel like there's a character that should have been higher or lower, just let me know. And with that, Rants out.